Hey everyone, it's Keisha Bennett, and today we're going to do a tutorial over eyebrows. So I have my bare face, and that's not something I usually do, just up close and personal. Nothing that I'm ashamed of. I just usually have these things filled in, but we're going to go for it today. So what I wanted to share with you guys today is just the basics on shaping your eyebrows when it comes to filling them in, and maybe some tips that you may need to know on, whether you wax or tweeze or anything like that. I'm going to give you some really helpful and easy steps on how to make them look very shaped and clean, not overly done. And I'll tell you right now, this tutorial is definitely not um, over like those taper fade looking eyebrows. Now listen, I don't have nothing against them. It's just not my thing. So if you are wanting those kind of, where they're like really, really light and then it just looks like almost like a bald fade. Okay, so we're not doing that. See, now I'm not going to be able to be serious because I'm sitting here laughing. Okay, so nothing against those. No, really, and honestly, nothing against them. Everybody has their own styles. I can't do it. I've tried it on mine just to see how it would look, and it did not look too great. So let me first go ahead and say that I am a licensed cosmetologist. So everything that I'm doing here is really out of my own experience. I do have a more professional way that I would do on a client if they were to come in and get makeup done. I've had extensive makeup training classes. I've had theatrical makeup. Just some of these services I don't really do anymore. I've owned a salon and spa, and my thing is more color and extensions. So the things that I'm going to show you today are going to be making sure I have everything. The things that I'm going to show you today are going to be more so that you can, most of the audience out there can relate. So for all my MUAs out there, all my licensed professionals, no judgment. Some of the products that I'm going to be mentioning are definitely, not what I would use on a typical client. But these are more for what your everyday people are going to be able to relate to and also be able to afford. So don't pass any judgment on anyone who uses these products. This is actually, some of these things are what I get from my teenager. She's almost 15. So when I allow her to do anything, this is what I want her to use. And I also recommend these particular products because they're more affordable. And when you're learning, I really don't recommend going out and spending a ton of money when you don't really know what, I don't want to say know what you're doing, but you're not super skilled in it and you haven't practiced it enough. So now on my own, I'll let you know that I do prefer MAC on certain things, Clinique on certain things. I kind of mix my products a little bit. I have combination skin, so I have in uneven skin tones, so I have to kind of play in different areas, but I can even use these non-professional products. Okay, so let's jump right in. What I use for my teenager and even for myself, and let me not say that I don't ever use these things because I do. Elf. So I'm sure you've seen these on your Walmart and Target shelves. They sell these at Walmart and Target. Now they're selling them anywhere. So Walgreens, like any of your markets, like your supermarkets and things like that. These are some of the most affordable products for makeup that's quality. So in my opinion. So so that's a primer. This is a primer. And these are products I'm actually using today. There's a brow brush and pencil, and this is also elf, so don't mind my feel that needs to be done on my nails, you guys. As you'll learn, I am not super serious. I have to joke around. That's just my personality. Here is what, it's kind of like a wax. It's not glue. It's kind of like a wax, and it basically holds your brows down. So this is also in the e.l.f. brand. I just turned it upside down. This is also in the e.l.f. brand. And this is, it's like a paste, a wax, a paste. So it looks like that. And this is what we're going to use to kind of hold our stubborn hairs down. And then lastly, liquid eyeliner. You're wondering, what in the world are you going to do with liquid eyeliner in your eyebrows? Because we're not doing eyes today. So yes, liquid eyeliner. I'm going to show you two different techniques. That's why I have this out. Okay, so and then of course I have my brushes that I like to use. I have a ton of these. Hey, you guys, these are on Wish. Download that app. Sometimes it takes a while to come in, but oh my gosh, like I got these for $8 and there was like 12 pieces, and these are better than my MAC brushes. I honestly, I have to say that. Okay, so another important utensil that you're going to have is e.l.f. does sell this brush, and it looks like this. Well, not this particular one, but they sell an angled brush like this, and it looks like that at the top. And if you turn it this way, it's just a thin brush. I need a new one. This one's kind of beat to death. But I use this because it's for my eyeshadow and brows. So anyways, you need this. You're going to need this. Okay, another thing that you're going to need is a dark eyeshadow that's similar to the color of your eyebrows. Now, they do sell shadows or, you know, powders that are specifically for your brows, and you can get that. That's fine. Some of those are going to be a little more pricey. You may be able to find some that's affordable, but let me kind of give you a life hack. I use, here's just one of my little favorite just off-brand shadows, and this is Physicians Formula. I love this stuff. I love their brand, and this is the nude palette. But anyways, in this, see that dark one right there? It's almost like a black charcoal. Well, my hairs are black, so that's what I'm going to use for my brow powder. They do have, when I say they, I mean the stores. They do have a stain for brows too. I don't recommend doing that if you're not as experienced and you haven't practiced several times, because even I mess up on those doing my own, and it's kind of difficult getting that stain, you know, off. But once you perfect those skills, do that, because it does last, and that's cool. So utensils or tools that I don't have out right now because I've already done mine, but I would recommend you having them, is maybe a pair of cutting shears or trimmers, like facial trimmers, and a bristled brush, or just use your eyebrow brush, and or a comb, and also and some tweezers if you are comfortable doing that yourself. Now, the first thing that I recommend, go ahead and put on your primer, because this is my steps that I do before putting on any of my makeup. I lotion up your face, hydrate your face, moisturize your face, all those terms. Don't use such a heavy moisturizer, because whether you have dry skin or combination skin or oily skin, like you're gonna cause those like your glands, your pores to overproduce that oil, and it'll just come to the surface. Like, you need a hydrating moisturizer. That's what you need. Everyone needs to hydrate your skin. Your body's made of over 70% of water, about 73% of water, and so we need to constantly hydrate. Drinking plenty of water, that's going to keep your skin hydrated and moisturized pretty well. But we need to also help our skin, because it's exposed to this crazy environment out here. And so moisturize your skin, hydrate your skin with some good just facial moisturizers. Try to stay away from the scented stuff, because I mean, you're exposing yourself to, you know, alcohols and anything with perfumes and smell good stuff that has alcohol in it, that's going to dry your skin right back out. So you're defeating the purpose of hydrating your skin. So that's kind of like my nurse mode and my Cosmo mode, so I don't mean to get into that. But it is important to know those things. So after you've already hydrated your skin, moisturized your skin, got everything smooth, go ahead and put on some primer, because you're going to end up putting your makeup on. If you don't wear makeup and you just do your eyebrows and your eyes, that's okay. But I still recommend primer because it's going to help your eyeshadow stay a lot better. I even think it helps my brow stuff stay better, but that's just me. Okay, after you do that, we're going to kind of jump right in here. So on top of me using this video, I'm going to kind of look at a mirror too, because it's kind of, this isn't as clear as what a mirror is to me on my side. So you're going to go ahead and brush. I've kind of already trimmed my eyebrows, so I'm not going to need to really do that in this video, but for you, I'm just kind of going to go over the steps, but you're going to brush up here and out and over this way. You want to kind of train your eyebrows to go this way. We see so many crazy eyebrows going up that way, all the way over. And natural eyebrows are supposed to go up and follow that direction. So if you have strays that are just wild and crazy and wiry and they're way too long, some women do. I've had it. And let me kind of give you a piece of my background before I continue. I've had issues growing up to where I've been made fun of for my thick, crazy eyebrows. I had a unibrow, you know, and even not now, but it took me a long time to get here. So if you have some crazy brows, I feel you, you know, but there's ways to fix it. So see that thin spot right there, and you might see this little dark shaded area right here. That's not me plucking or waxing or misshaping my eyebrows. Someone dropped a curling iron on my eyebrow, so I don't have a full brow that grows all the way out, and so I have to work twice as hard on this side to match it up with that side. And anyway, yeah, I mean, we all have our own flaws and our own issues, and that's okay. And I really wish women these days would, you know, not knock people down. Even as an adult, I've been made fun of, you know, for basically finding myself in even my eyebrows, you know, because you don't have the drawn on brows that everybody else has, you know. So excuse me. But yeah, I just think it's crazy. If women weren't so competitive with each other and more uplifting and motivational and encouraging, I swear, like we would be some strong creatures on this earth. But you know, you kind of have to hold yourself up. So anyways, it took me a long time to get just here with my natural ones. Like it's crazy how they used to look. But anywho, with your brow brush, shape, I feel a sneeze coming on, you guys, so bless me ahead of time. Brush them up and that way. I'm seeing that soon. I'm gonna have to trim them again, but this will be fine for this video. So I'm gonna do that to both sides just to kind of prepare both of them. And so remember what I said up here. And if you want to know how far in to go on brushing it up, look at the center of your eye where your pupil is, go straight up. All that section right there, that's what you're going to kind of brush up. And then everything else out to the side. But you want to kind of blend it. You don't want to have two separate sections there. So anyway, if you're doing it that way and you see some stray hairs, go ahead and just trim them off, whether you have your cutting shears or your electric trimmers. And when I say electric trimmers, they have smaller ones, but this is kind of what I mean. I use my husband's. He uses that for his beard. That's the only thing. So anyway, but now if you do have a bunch of crazy hairs and how I said to brush it all completely up, that's when you would just trim the excess there. But then you start back over and brush it how I mentioned. Okay, so we got our hairs down. This is where your paste is going to come in. This little drawn up little paste. It's clear. Okay, so what the only part that I use this on is here. So that center part of my eye and over, that is the only part. And you may not have to use this if you have extremely thin brows or your brow hairs are fine in its texture. You may not have to do this. Mine are coarse. If I let my hair down, you would see, like, I'm biracial, so my hair is not, it doesn't cooperate as much. Okay, so we got that down. It kind of tames your hairs just a little bit, kind of like a wax, like I said. Okay, so what we're gonna do on this right side, I'm gonna use this brow pencil. Now, when you first buy them, they're gonna be pointed like that. Keep them fresh if you're gonna use this method. I'm gonna use this method on this eye, and then the liquid method on the other eye, so you can see the difference. It won't be much of a difference, but one method may be easier for one person. So anyways, you got your brow pencil. When it's pointed like that, it's going to be much easier to use because you're using this to shape on the top and on the bottom. When it's blunt, you're going to have so much more trouble, and these are only about $1 or $2. The e.l.f. brand, I meant to mention to you, their whole product line is between $1, literally $1, and like $10. They do also have a professional line of e.l.f. that is also sold in the stores, and they may range between like $2 to $5 up to like $20. Their brands or their products are awesome, so try them out. But okay, so we're gonna do this on this eye. Sorry, give me just a second. I did not prepare myself like I thought I would. Okay, well, we won't use that. I thought I would had another mirror. So anyway, so what we're gonna do is on the top, on your top part of your brow only, you're using that center of your eye as your measuring tool. So kind of go right here. You're making just fine brush strokes. Fine brush strokes. Sorry. You know what? I'm going to have to get this mirror because that ain't going to work. Technical difficulties. See, this is where I need to learn how to edit a little bit more. All right, I think my husband just got home, so you're gonna hear some dogs barking. Okay, so anyway. Okay, so you see how I'm following that top and it kind of started to shape it a little bit. Now, remember what I said, right here in the center up to there, and you're gonna follow it. You're just doing brush strokes. Now, if you push and do a hard line, that's when you're going to look like you have drawn on eyebrows. You don't want to do that. On the bottom section, you're going to do the same thing, except instead of starting in the middle, like how we did at the top, you're going to start over here. Because you want a more vivid line to give you your shape. So, hope you guys can see this, though. Same thing, just brushing that on. Now with this brow pencil, it's kind of much easier to wipe if you make a mistake. That's the advantage of using this method. So I'm gonna kind of go over that line that I told you guys about on the top. Okay, so just use your finger, kind of wipe brush off the hard lines if you need to. We're going to soften them up so it doesn't have to be perfect right now. Okay, if you need to brush your brows back in place, do that. They shouldn't move on you. You got your paste on. Okay, so your last step is going to be, just a second. Last step is going to be using your this brush, so your angled brush, to fill in your brows, and then to take off those hard lines if you have any. It softens the outer lines to kind of give you more of that natural look, and that's also why I like this method. So on this, go ahead and go all the way toward the front. Keep your brush this direction. So if you see how I'm turning it toward me, the pointed end is going to face this way like an arrow. So like I said, keep that side facing in. If you go out this way, it's going to be like going against the grain, so that's not going to really make any sense. So you stop. Now, as far as measuring, a lot of people want to know, where do I stop? How far do I go in? There's two rules of thumbs, and this is all personal preference. Everybody's brows, they want them different. So let me use this as a measuring tool. Okay, so a lot of people, so here's the center of your nose. If you go to the side and it rests right there, see how it stops right there at the end of my brows? That's the tool I use to measure. Not this, but I mean, that's the method I use. And that's about as far in as I go. So I let it rest on my nose and then stop there. And anything in between, I will pluck, I will wax, you know, whatever I need to do. Some people use the corner of their eye and go straight up. Kind of seems about the same, but it's a little further in. So you use what you think. Hair grows pretty fast, so try both. You know, I like it closer. I like my brows more natural. We weren't born with, you know, little lines. We were born with normal brows, so I like to go further in. And you know what? I've accepted having thicker brows, and I'm drawing them back on, brushing them back on, after all these years of me trying to get rid of them. Okay, so anyway, so we got that top line. So now you're starting to see the shape, right? Okay, so now we'll go on the bottom line, and remember, we're going all the way starting here. Your brush is pointed this way. Be a little more careful on the bottom, because you don't want to go further down than what you've already made your line, and it's easy to do that. Once you get up here, kind of bring it to a point. Don't make a square. You know, it's not going to be as wide as this is up here. You're going to meet it all together like that. Other people ask me, how do I know how far to go down? Your brow bone, it goes all the way down to here. If you ask me my opinion, bring it all the way down. I mean, that's where it's supposed to be. Some people want to cut this off right here. Do as you please, but a more natural brow is going to arch all the way over. Okay, ta-da! Okay, so our final step in what we were going to do is, I forgot to mention, go ahead and have you a little, kind of like a little touch-up concealer brush. I'd get something a little smaller. You can use your finger, whatever you want. e.l.f. has this concealer. It's like $1. And when I'm using this brand, and if I use this brand, or if I do this on my daughter, this is what I use. So your final touch over here, always end with a concealer, because you're basically going to clean everything up and you make it look crisp and fresh. And so afterwards, that's when my rule of thumb on applying makeup is start from your brows, work your way down. Start from the brows, work your way down. And that's after you've put on your moisturizer and your primer. So start from your brows, work your way down. After you've put your concealer on, then you can go ahead and start doing your eyeshadow, and then your foundation and all that stuff. Everything ties in together. That way you don't mess up your brows, you know. And so always have your hair tied up or back or something. Okay, so so here's how I do this. You literally just right at the edge of that line, do not touch your brows. And you don't even have to be touching the line. I literally just paint it on there, because we're gonna rub it in anyways. So Okay, so same thing with the bottom. Don't do it too heavy because then you're going to have to do a lot of work to blend it in, but you definitely want to clean them up though. So, and then I always do here. So if you ever went too far in, you can always clean that up right there. All right. Now, when you get used to this, because I know we're about 25 minutes in right now, it goes much quicker than this. It's like, it takes me probably 5 to 10 minutes. So this is just because I'm, you know, I talk a lot. Look at them. See? Now, may not be perfect because I'm looking in 2 different cameras and mirrors, but look at that compared to my left side. Now, this is my left side. It may be different on the video. See? And at the very end, that's when I would probably, this is when I would probably go ahead and brush them all up and blend it. Be careful, because you don't want to mess up your pretty work. Okay, so let's hurry and get on to this side. Final steps. This is a little easier for me because this is what I'm used to doing. So this is where you're going to take your liquid liner. This is for those of you that have a little more steady hand. Also, a little braver with using liquid. And then finally, if you want it to last a little longer, this is what I do. Personally, this is what I do. So if you see in any of my videos, now you're not going to be able to really tell, but see how it's a little more subtle and you can kind of, you know, it's not as crisp. If you want more like a crisp look, like, I'm not saying like drawn on, but you know what I mean, I would go this route. So you're using the same concept that what I said as far as using your eye as a measuring tool, going up in the center and starting there on the top. On the bottom, you're going to go all the way over to here and then follow that guide. Same exact thing. So I'm just going to jump in there and show you because I've already given you the steps on how to do that. So always kind of wipe off the excess, otherwise you're going to have a black brow. Wipe off a little excess. I wipe it into my brow because I need to fill them in anyways. So that's all I'm doing right now, just wiping off the excess. So once I've done that, then I will start right in here. And same thing, just little brush strokes. Sorry. My baby might be coming in trying to talk to me. All right. I try to be quiet. So I kind of went a little too fast for that one. Okay, so anyways, that one's fine. But see, remember how I said I burn this side? I kind of have to reshape that angle, otherwise I'm going to be lower than this over here. So I kind of have to go up. I know some of y'all are probably laughing like, that's what you get, you got to reshape your whole eyebrow. But you know what? You wouldn't be able to tell afterwards. Eh. Okay. Got it. Got him. Okay. We got all that shaped. Use black or brown when you're doing this. Don't use anything other than that. Most of our, if you have blonde hairs, I would use brown, and then you can always lighten it up. Lighten it up with your final touches of shading it in with your shadow. Just use a light brown shadow and it'll soften that line. So I'm sorry, I was leaving out the light and blonde hairs. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna go into the bottom. Sorry, I'm just jumping in here. I don't want you guys getting bored. See how that looks like, I don't want to say like a Nike sign, but see how that's a little sharp right there? I don't like that. So I'm going to round it just a little bit more. I'll round it a little more whenever I get there's always ways to fix it, but I'll round it a little more whenever I get the brow brush and soften it up. All right. Okay, so here's where we soften it. And remember I said now you're gonna face the other direction. Go all the way in to the point right there. And blend that baby in and bring it all the way down. Same thing on the bottom. This one's a little harder for me, keep in mind, because I have no hairs. I pretty much had to create some. I do know how to do microdermabrasion too. Or I'm sorry, microdermabrasion, microblading. That is a form of like permanent eyebrow tattooing. Okay, now we're almost done. Fill in a little bit more. You guys probably won't have to do this much. Sorry, I'm holding my mirror up in front of you guys. Okay, so final touches. Same thing with this side. Now, of course, on a makeup day, on my normal makeup day, I would definitely take my time, but I've been moving too slow with this little tutorial. I'll get better, you guys. Keep in mind, I'm newer with this, so while I'm finishing this last bit, subscribe to my page, share my videos. We're not just doing tutorials, we're doing motivational stuff. I am, and I talk about my businesses and other ways that I can help you, and even if you're out of state, I still do services, virtual, life coaching, vacation planning, all that stuff. So you do not have to be in the same state for me to help you. Look at me having a big old gap right there that I almost forgot about. See, also I have thinning hairs right there. I need some Rogaine in my eyebrows. For all you that know me, I'm sure you're going to be cracking up. All right. Okay, well, this is as good as it's going to get from me. So, you can see how I did not have these eyebrows before. And I mean, it makes you look totally different, you guys. So just do your eyebrows and just a little eyeshadow, or even just some concealer in your dark spots, or blotchy areas of your face. Just do your eyebrows and that's it. And I swear your confidence just boosts. Like, keep in mind me saying that I've been made fun of, growing up, and just having my eyebrows, at least decent. They're not exactly how I want them to be, but just having them decent makes me feel good. So, I can go around without makeup as long as my eyebrows are done. You can use setting spray. Here's another thing that I do. I don't have it in here with me, but use like a spritz, light hairspray, an aerosol. I'm sorry, not spritz, aerosol. Cancel that out. Aerosol spray, and get you one of those little miniature traveling ones if you don't have setting spray, and literally hold your hand like this when you're done with your eyebrows, just a little light spray, and it will set everything in. That's one of my makeup hacks whenever I do like bride's hair, makeup, things like that. I always do that. I'll just say, cover your face for a second, we're gonna hairspray your face, and it helps. So anyways, I hope you guys like this. Subscribe to my page, and share it. Share my other videos. Check those out too. I have some other topics, and let me know if there's some topics or things that you guys want me to try. Pretty soon I'll be doing a makeup tutorial on how I do mine. If you have uneven skin tones, see these little, usually I have more baggy eyes, but like the dark circles under your eyes, I have, I hate this. It's like discolored around here. You guys may not be able to see it, but there's some things, with medical conditions that I have to deal with, and nobody would really ever know. and so I can definitely do one on that. Stay tuned. Next I'm going to be doing Bantu knots. You can do this on all textures, all textures. I can give some ideas in products for different textures and different curl patterns, what you're trying to achieve. And so that will be my next video. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry it was supposed to be uploaded yesterday and I had some issues doing that, but I'm so glad we were able to get it done. And thank you for watching again. Have a good day.